Welcome to another strategy session where we hope to give you, the real estate professional, an idea, an action, maybe just a little light bulb moment that you can go and apply to your business. Hi, my name is Mangum and I am the founder of The Strategic Agent, and we have been a little bit on a binge the last few weeks. We have been talking about pricing, and today's strategy session is about pricing as well. And what we're going to talk about is that dreaded questions that most sellers ask. What is it? Can we talk about price first? I don't know about you, but I hate it when that happens. Now, there are some agents that feel that's just fine to talk about price first, and they will defend it by saying that's all the seller cares about, so why not go ahead and talk about it? And in full disclosure, I believe that under one circumstance, it is fine to talk about price first. That is when the seller is a sure thing. You know they are going to be hiring you. Likely they're a previous client or an established friend, and they have said to you, bring the sign. To be clear, not assuming they are hiring you, you know they are hiring you. Other than that one situation, talking about price first can be a death knell for you for two reasons. First, the seller is totally changing your listing presentation agenda. You have just allowed them to become the leader in your relationship, and now you are a follower. And by the way, sellers don't hire followers. Secondly, if they hear from you a price that's different than the number they have in their head, the seller is simply going to shut down, and they are not going to listen to another thing you say. So what do you do when they want to talk about price first and you don't want to? Well, I've got two strategies for you. Strategy number one is to build trust as quickly as possible. Now, I want to be clear here. The goal is not to hold the pricing conversation necessarily to the end of the presentation. Rather, is to hold the conversation until you have built up enough rapport and trust that they are open to your guidance. The seller may have some trust in you already, or they may be a completely cold prospect. Regardless, a great strategy is to build trust even before you go to their house. How? A pre-listing packet. Now, most agents don't use pre-listing packages, and if they do, many just stuff them full with information about the company, or they put the agency forms, or the offer to purchase, etc. However, the point of a pre-listing is to build trust in you. Who are you and why should they hire you? That is what a pre-listing package should answer. Now, you might say they aren't going to read it. Well, honestly, I don't really care if they're going to read it. What I want them to do is glance through it. And I want them to get some of the feelings of trust and care and competency, and to begin feeling confident that you can get the job done. So what's supposed to go in it? Well, that's the giveaway I've got for you. Somewhere below me is a link on a download called the 411 on the pre-listing packet. Okay, so go get that. Now, let's talk about strategy two. Address this objection before it happens. That means assume that they're going to want to talk about price first and kill that objection before it happens. Identify the order of your presentation to the seller, and then tell them why you're waiting to talk about pricing. So, for example, the last thing we talk about is what the market is saying about your house. The asking price decision is the most important decision you have to make. So to ensure that you have all the information that you need to make a smart and profitable decision requires that we place it at the last. Does that make sense? Okay. Those are my two strategies for holding the pricing conversation as long as possible. Which one should you use? How about both? Having a correctly priced house is so important to you and your seller. So mastering prices is a skill that you just have to have. Remember, we have a free webinar coming up called How to Get a Reasonable Price from an Unreasonable Seller. Discover our 3 strategies that work. And that one you also can click below to register. If you missed any of our previous blogs about other pricing conversations, go take a look at them. And I'm going to be bringing you a few more. But remember, that webinar is going to be chock full with great information that you can go and apply immediately. So I'll see you there.